such a beautiful day in Cape Town, and recently we were on the streets actually trying to understand the factors that influence people when they're buying. And quite shockingly, the answers we got were not the answers that we expected. But anyway, what made us the most is the opinion of the consumers, because they are the ones who are buying. So why did we do this? Because remember, as entrepreneurs, we need to understand the trends, the factors that are influencing people to buy. So the question that we're asking was, what influences your decision to buy? Like, what factors do you consider to buy a given brand? Trust. How much important is it to trust a brand for you to decide? Like, what role does trust play in every decision making? The other one was reviews, online reviews. How important are they to people when they're making decisions? And then the last one was advertisement versus word of mouth. Which one's way better for them? And actually, the answers were quite surprising. But anyway, these are the facts on the ground. So watch this episode as we chat to the people who made us the most, who are the consumers, and understand what is it exactly that influences them to buy. So aside that, if you are an entrepreneur, now you know how to design your product or how to cater for their interests and which platforms or which modes of communication that you should use to make it to make your offer be listened to better. That's it. Firstly, what influences your decision when buying a brand?
Buying
a brand or buying anything?
It depends on what exactly I'm buying. So it's like for now, I just bought my girlfriend a birthday present. So I was trying to find something that would be good for her. Or on another day, if I'm hungry, I want food. What kind of food do I want?
Okay,
it depends on what I want. So it depends on what I'm shopping for, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the second one will be trust. What role does trust play in influencing you to buy something? So when you're just deciding on buying something.
So trust in the company or something?
No, it could be the company, it could be the product. How important is trust?
I say it's quite important, because once I like a brand, I don't deviate from. Like if I start buying from Checkers, it's difficult for me to go to Spa. See, yeah, exactly.
So trust is very important.
Very.
And then the other one is word of mouth versus advertisement. Which one do you listen to? Which one influences you better?
Advertisements, honestly, because if it looks good, like I'm the type to, like, if a picture looks good or if a movie picture looks good, I'm just gonna watch the movie without reading the plot. So you see, so I would say if the advert is really good, then it'll probably get me.
Because some will say they prefer word of mouth because it's organic.
People are very different in that regard. You know, what you like, I don't like, or I do like, or I might like more, I might like less. So word of mouth is good to use as like a tool of reference, but it's not the main thing for me. Yeah. Like
so in other words, we can say they work hand in hand.
Yeah, I can see an advert and then I'd ask someone who's used that product, and then
they complement each other.
Exactly.
All right. And then the last one is online reviews. How important are they?
Very. I don't do any online shopping without checking the reviews first. But I do know on some apps, like if they say a company is going under controversy, then they just have a whole lot of negative reviews. So sometimes that can skew the like if they usually have, like, let's say 3 stars, and then they do something bad. Like for example, the thing with clicks that happened a few years ago with the hair. So at that time, that was a very bad time to use reviews, because everyone was just posting negative reviews at the time. So it depends on where the state of the company is as well. But if it's just like general stable company and then they have a lot of bad reviews, then it's probably not a good idea. Or maybe it's just like one bad individual. Like not everyone's gonna have 100% good reviews. There are gonna be a few 1 stars, 2 stars. So you look for basically what's the overwhelming number of reviews. So whether they're positive or negative or more in the mid-range. In the mid-range, you know, it's not 50-50, so it's more subjective as well. So that's true. Exactly.
Thanks so much for your time.
And you're welcome. So much.
Yeah. Your name is?
Nonchetusi.
Tell me, what influences your decision to buy a brand or a product?
The price, mainly.
And what else?
The quality. the durability of the product
All
as
right,
well.
all right.
Yeah.
Secondly, what trust? How important is trust in you influencing your decision?
Very important, I would say. Mainly because, obviously, with this Ramaphosa economy we're living in, you have to make wise decisions, basically, especially when it comes to the finances and stuff. Yeah.
So trust plays an important role.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, advertisement versus word of mouth. Which one do you trust?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Advertising, well, don't really tell you the full story, but obviously if a person has experienced it and they have, tested, so word of mouth for me would definitely do it.
And the last question is online reviews. Do you find them useful?
I do, but they tend to exaggerate sometimes, so, and the thing is with the online reviews, you can read 10 positive reviews and then you get one negative and then it just influences your whole decision, But sometimes it will also just depend on me just going for that product and whatsoever and be like, okay, I'll test for myself. If I'm not happy, then I send it back.
Despite
At least we have that
the
option.
negative reviews.
Exactly, because sometimes you find that it's negative, but then what works for me might not work for the
Yeah,
next
no,
person.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Thanks, Nwanhle.
Tristan.
Tell me, what influences your decision to buy a brand?
Basically on the style, the color, if it's suitable for me.
And the quality, like depending on how long that will last for me,
All right, okay.
So it's basically that, the quality, the color. Like if I like it, then I will buy it.
You'll buy it.
The quality mostly,
And then the second one will be, what role does trust play in your process of making a decision to buy something? Trust.
Like
Trusting the brand, trusting the product. How important is it to you?
It should be important so that you know if the quality of the material or the texture of the product is going to last longer, so that you know that you will come again and keep coming to come buy. That's how strong your trust must be for the product to actually.
and also I think as the like usually when it comes to the online, you need like a lot of trust there, because some of them, like, you must know if it's like a scam or not. So trust is very important.
Very important. And then the third one will be word of mouth versus advertisement. Which one works better for you?
Word of
Why?
mouth. Because sometimes the advertisement can lie to you. They will tell you maybe it's this quality, that quality, and then when you come and buy it or you ship it or something, then it's a different quality. It looks way different from
word of mouth. It's rather face to face to see something or being spoken to the person.
We have used it before. All right.
Like that.
And then the last one will be online reviews. Do they work for you?
No.
Do you use them?
no.
Why?
Because I feel like the company, they can put those, like they can comment.
Do you think maybe they can fabricate or create those reviews?
Yes.
Yeah, it can even come from the people that is working for the company.
Serious,
making up
but
their
in some
own.
cases there's millions of reviews.
Yeah, and
So-
some of it is like
Or
fake.
maybe they can manipulate people into giving that
Yeah.
comments or stuff like that.
Or like maybe paying them to
Paying
review.
them to review it also, yes.
Yeah, it could be true.
So word of mouth rather, and like seeing it face to face, knowing everything face to face, not this online stuff.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for your time. Tell me, when you're buying a brand, what influences your decision?
For me, it's the quality of it, because
Okay.
obviously I'm very big on quality over quantity. So
Alright.
I'd rather want to buy something that I know will last me a long time than buying many items that aren't gonna last me as much.
All
Yeah.
right. And
I think for me it's a little bit similar, but the way I think about it is if the quality matches whatever price you're giving me,
okay.
that's how
That's
I go
fair.
according to it. Of course, you still choose what you can afford but can't afford. But if I see something is expensive, my next thought will be, but is it worth paying this amount that I'm paying
Yeah.
for it?
Right. And sometimes they say price determines the quality. So the higher the price, so that means the quality is good. I don't know.
Exactly.
That's
It's
what
not
they say.
always the case. That's why sometimes you might see something that's expensive, but maybe you feel the material or something
Yeah,
of
and
clothes
it's
is not that
not-
great.
yeah.
Like the
So it
recent scandal
doesn't-
that happened with the brand from China.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
never
yeah.
really know. So I will just, as long as I'm getting what I'm paying for, that's how I look at it.
Okay. And then the next question will be trust.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how important is trust whenever you're deciding to buy? What role does it play in your decision-making process?
everything. I mean, using like jeans as an example, you know, sometimes you want to go back to the brand, you know that, okay, I've bought them before, it lasted this amount of years and stuff. Something else might come along, it looks nice and maybe it has a great name, but knowing that, you know, this brand that I've been true to has never let me down, I'm more likely to stick to that unless the other brand is like give something way more like,
better.
especially but trust for me is how I buy everything. Like, I'm very much a repeat buyer. If something works for me, I'm
very
use
loyal.
it until
Brand loyalty.
Yeah, brand loyalty, 100%.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So same applies to you.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually,
All right.
exactly.
And then the next one will be advertisement versus word of mouth. Which one works better for you?
I feel like I don't know actually.
I think it depends on the brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so for example, if it comes to skincare, chances are I'm going to listen to word of mouth. I want to know what's actually worked for people
Or dermatologist.
and all of that. But if it's something that's not maybe going to affect like my health or aesthetics, then you know, you see an ad, it's really cool. I think the only difference is if I see an ad and I really don't like it, because I'm a very visual person, it actually turns me off from the product. So I think maybe rather than saying whether I'd buy or not buy, the one that has the most effect on me is ads.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I feel like I'm someone like talking to me about it and showing me, especially like with skincare. Like, I will only buy skincare if I can actually speak to someone who like specializes in it, or like, that's why I love how like a lot of like makeup brands now actually have people who are specialized in that product, because then you can actually speak to them and ask them, especially with someone who has like very sensitive skin. I'm always scared to branch out into buying new products. So I'm like, I don't want to spend like over 500 rand on something that's going to make my skin break out, whereas I buy something that's like 150 and it literally does the trick. But then I also feel like if an ad is really, really good and actually captivates your attention, of course you're going to be drawn to it. But I feel like an ad can also sometimes play a role in making something look too good, and then you see it and you're like, oh, this is like, especially like on like Shein or something, like you see an ad and the top, like the hoodie looks so thick and luxurious, and then you get it and it literally feels like you're wearing like a piece of like a pillowcase or something. So I feel like I'm also drawn in between, but I feel like I'm more on like someone actually.
So
speaking
in
to me.
essence, we can say to your side, they complement each other.
Yeah, they complement each
most
other.
definitely.
Okay, cool. And the last one will be online reviews. Do they really work for you? And I mean,
Yes.
what's your opinion about them?
Okay, you can go first on this one.
I'm
I
a very
know
big
that.
online reviewer, especially when people include images of the products, especially when it comes to buying clothing online. If I see that a clothing item has no reviews, I tend to not want to buy it, because I'm like, clearly people either didn't enjoy this product enough to have reviewed it, or not enough people have bought it to even think to review it. Because also, like I said, using Shein as an example again, like you can see a photo of a piece of clothing, but then in the comments you can see what the clothing actually looks like on a person. You're like, oh, that looks so much different too. So I feel like online reviews for me are very helpful, because it actually helps me to see, is this product actually worth it, or is it actually like not worth it at all.
I love online reviews, but the way I look at it is not just, okay, this product, maybe let's say it has 50 reviews and then 40 of the reviews are great, and then the others, okay, so I'm going to go with it because it's the majority. The way I think of it is I look at what the best review says, and then the worst review, I see what it says as well. Because for example, if we're taking like an Airbnb, for example, and you go into a different country, the best review says it was great, it was clean, all that. But then even though it's one bad review, maybe the person says, oh, we had an issue with bugs. The way I think is bugs are a health concern. So even though it's not necessarily that they will be there, the problem is if it is there, it's something that'll affect me a lot. Whereas if someone says, oh, they're bad reviews, okay, they didn't like the pillowcase or whatever, I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like I can, you know,
I can
so,
deal with that.
yeah, so I compare the best review with the worst review. You know, it's like even recently with driving schools, if someone says, okay, this instructor was great and stuff, great, but if the other person says, oh, it took me, you know, months to get a lesson set because of this and this, then I think, oh, I don't know which instructor I'm going to get. If the problem comes that I, you know, have a test and then I'm not getting lessons, all that, you know. So you need to compare, not just go with which one has the majority best reviews.
So ratio wise, which one, I mean, what would we say, bad reviews and positive reviews, which one should be concentrated, like which ones should be more?
I think on the bad reviews.
The bad
I know that's a
reviews.
really negative way of thinking of it, right? But the problem is you have to think about what if you're the person who ends up with the bad review, right? So it depends on how bad that. If it's something that you know you can handle, if it happened to you, it's fine. But if it's something where you read it and you thought, ooh, I wouldn't like that. I would rather
Yeah.
stay away
Stay out.
from
Yeah, I
it.
agree.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Amazing.